But of course, it's disappointing to finish up this homestand with a defeat. It's been a while since we've tasted that here, and there were moments in the early exchanges that I just felt Dallas were able to find some little pockets of opportunity as we settled into what is a slightly different shape again. What I would say is beyond that, and I think we can see through the stats in the second half, that the attitude and the spirit of the team gave us, real impetus. I thought there were some very good passages of play. Possessionally, we're in a much better place. In terms of our front foot and aggressive approach, much better place. I think we fell down in the final third, and it was always going to be a concern with limited attacking players, and of course the quick turnaround and nature of the schedule, having to offer some other players a little bit of rest. So very, very disappointed, but certainly not disheartened with the way that the side has played. In fact, I think we've come out of this with a number of positives that we can certainly take towards what will be our next game here and a playoff game.
We will open the floor for questions, and we will begin with one from Dre Hills with the Tennessean.
Gary, just at the end of that answer, obviously the focus is the playoff game, but is there no longer a focus on, as you said earlier, previously this week, about asking questions, putting on pressure of that number 6 spot in the Eastern Conference?
Well, I think tonight's result, Jake, was really a pivotal moment for that, I believe. It's not to say that we can't go to Orlando and get a victory, but that's what we need. And, tonight's efforts and the way that the guys have gone about this fixture shows you that they were very, very keen to fight tooth and nail for that 6th spot. But getting beat tonight certainly puts a dent in that. I know that New England have got a very tough game, as have we, and so have New York Red Bull, who are the other side, obviously, in the final sort of chase for that. So, listen, we've not lost hope. We certainly know that it's a much tougher challenge. But more importantly, I think, leaving here after today's game, and the next time we're here may well be when we're in the playoffs. And I wanted the guys to, if we can't get a win tonight, which, we certainly fought hard for, I wanted the guys to leave here having achieved some things that I think we've just gone away from in the last couple of games.
Tim Sullivan with For Club and Country.
Gary, you mentioned the change in shape. What was kind of the philosophy behind that? And then when Jack got hurt pretty early in the game, was there a temptation to go to a different type of formation, or was it immediate, let's put in Jaleel and kind of do a like-for-like sub there?
But there was a couple of things, Tim. We're missing multiple attacking bodies again. Yonder's still working his way towards being able to play longer than maybe half a game. And I want to be careful, given our injuries, that I don't push too far with him. Daniel Rios is carrying a problem as well, which, prevented him coming out second half. So there's multiple attacking players that we're without at the minute. And I was desperately trying to get Randall, who has been one of our shining lights recently, into a more central position where I know he and the team, find him very, very capable. And that meant in doing so, we looked very, very light in terms of wide players. And I'd seen what we'd achieved in Houston. It wasn't quite the same output against New England, but I just felt that the attitude and the personality of the players that were going out there would give us exactly what we got, which was a front foot approach, a very aggressive mindset. I thought there was some terrific energy in our game and real appetite. But as I said, the one thing that let us down or really didn't offer us the type of foundation we needed to win the game. We're more attacking players on the field, and unfortunately, if they're injured, it's very difficult to change that. Personalities are what we have, and I don't have an issue with that. But when it comes to creation, it can be somebody's DNA and somebody's feel in a game that makes a difference. And that certainly tonight was the difference between the teams.
Gentry Estes with the Tennessean.
Yeah, hey Gary. With the run of form you guys were on last month for a while, getting 3 goals in a couple of games, and does it concern you that you've maybe taken a bit of a step back the last couple of games as you're trying to ramp up for the postseason?
I think there's a couple of things with that. The first one is, as I said to you, we're suffering, and I think anyone can see that. The injured list and even sort of half injured players are Akam, Badji, Dunlady, Mukhtar. We've got, as I said, Daniel Rios, who's struggling and has played a decent 45 minutes. You can throw into that guys like Alex Mule, who has been terrific for us, has got for a tremendous amount of work. So number one, we are without bodies, and that does make a difference. In terms of confidence, I can't believe that the guys have not felt, on top of the world with what they've achieved. I know indeed they are. And the last thing is, when you look at the way that the playoffs are going to be structured this year, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for any team to take whatever momentum they had in the season into the playoffs. The first playoff game is 2 weeks after the last game, which is Sunday for us. If you're in the top 6, it's going to be 3 weeks. And I defy any team that have been playing 2 games a week as we have for the last 3 weeks and gotten into that routine to then go, into a quiet phase and keep the same mentality, the same sharpness, the same appetite. It's just not easy. You're still going to see good games, but please don't tell me that everyone's going to feel exactly the same 2 or 3 weeks down the line, because they're not.
Ben Wright with Broadway Sports.
Yeah, Gary, it seemed in the first half. I mean, you've alluded to this a little bit just with the lack of attacking bodies, but that the forwards were really disconnected from the midfield. And then it seemed in the second half, like Anunga and Lagrasa especially pushed forward more. Was that something that you talked to them about on halftime, and how did you try to tactically cope with some of the lack of attackers?
Well, yeah, look, the guys you're talking about, I think, have put in an incredible shift in this game, and were instrumental in raising the attitude, and by that I mean the positivity in the group. It's not their game, as we know, to be in attacking pockets and connecting and creating. A lot of their game is about industry and possession and just great spirit that lifts others around them. So, as I said, there was always going to be a little bit of an issue with us creating opportunities. I was disappointed that we couldn't get Randall and Daniel in the game a little bit more. And what you found in the first period, that when we hit the final third, the creative third, we just looked a little bit toothless. The second period, I just felt the guys, came out of their shell a little bit more, maybe took more chances because we were a goal behind. I think they were buoyed by the fact that, we were getting into good areas and that, we were on the front foot and felt like there was an opportunity to be had. Listen, all I've said to the guys in there as well afterwards is, out of a difficult situation, there were a couple of things that I felt we needed to feel again. Our last couple of home games, whilst we've earned points, I think not seen us play in the style and the fashion that I know that these guys are capable of, and I certainly know will win us more games here, which is on the front foot and being more aggressive. And we've seen that tonight. Secondly, we've controlled the game more so tonight than we have done certainly in our last two home games. Admittedly, a different opponent and different circumstances, but I felt the guys needed to see and feel, the moments when we've got to work a team over. We've got to maintain possession and manage the game. And the one thing we missed was creation and finishing. And, unfortunately, as I've said, when you're missing so many bodies, that can sometimes fall down.
Dre Hills with a follow-up question.
You talked a little bit about some of those out players that are outside players not being used to consistently being in those attacking pockets, but is there something in the system that perhaps doesn't lead them to want to take players on more often? Someone like Eric Miller after a switch play and he catches one of the Dallas defenders on a one-on-one, or is it something maybe he's just waiting for perhaps more bodies to get in front of him in attack to kind of help in service? I mean, is there a particular style that causes those guys not to want to take players one-on-one, or is it simply just their own repertoire in terms of skill set?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. That if you look at any player around the globe in certain positions, they have a particular style and like you say, skill set. And Eric's his energy, he's a talented player on the ball, and his possession and choices. Eric's capable of creating a crossing moment, but he's not going to do what Randall or somebody of that ilk is capable of. So, we're in a position here where there were many good things out of that game. What I want to remind everyone is this: that when you play a little bit more open as we have done tonight, there is the opportunity or there is the possibility that teams will take advantage of that. And finding the balance, as you've all seen, and I've seen many times, is never easy. I realise the team needs a little bit more impetus and front foot play. And I think we've seen that tonight. But I will reinforce this. We didn't earn any points tonight. And unfortunately, there are going to be games where you have a real go at it. You really show all the energies and the qualities that you hope from a home team, and you don't win, and you don't earn any points, and we don't score a goal.
Tim Sullivan.
Gary, you mentioned a lack of attacking players, but you did manage to give a debut to one player. What did you think of Handwalla Bwana in his first game with your club?
Listen, he's only been in the group for a couple of days and training fully, and I'm delighted with him as an individual. He's a bright personality. He's fitted in very well quickly, and he's got his first opportunity on the field. I think his moment of the game was the cross late on that he just lifted and leant to the back post, and I think it was Walker and Yonder that collided. But I think he's got a bright future. He has lovely talent. He moves very efficiently, and my hope is that as we push on here, we're going to see more and more of those individual moments that we've been talking about, difference-making moments.
Ben Wright with the final question of the night.
Yeah, Gary, do you have any word as to the extent of Jack Mayer's injury?
It sounds like Jack has either just tweaked his knee, the outside of his knee, but on first tests, it's nothing too serious. Although most of these things, do tend to take 24, 48 hours to settle down and to get a clearer picture of what's gone wrong. But it does seem that this may be something that's, a little bit more incidental than too aggressive.
Your reaction on today's game.
Yes, it's tough game. It's difficult when you losing home, but the effort for the team is great. I think we always try to fight because we always, when we go to inside the field, we want to win. Nobody want to lose, and nobody want to tie. But this is the football. The football is like this. Sometimes they have only, I think, one or two chances, and they score. But I think we control the game. We control more the second half. We try to control the ball. We move the ball the side to side, the other side. We try to find good pass. But we need to doing better. We try to finish the action because sometimes when the game is like this too close, we need to when if we have only one chance, we need to score in this chance because I don't know if we have also other chance, but we need to continue try to fighting because we have other final Sunday. If we want to stay in the top 6, we need to win in Orlando.
We have a question from Dre Hills with the Tennessean.
Aníbal, because of the changes in the formation and the new players that came in, it seemed that the attack was different than usual. How did Gary tell you and your teammates to attack tonight?
Gary is the coach. He know like everybody want to play. Everybody want to start, and we have so many rotation today because everybody know we play a lot of games like Wednesday, Saturday. But this is not only about the formation or about the player going because we have good team, we have good player, and always like what I say, we always want to go inside the field to try to show the best performance we have. In this shape, we try to press a little bit more higher. In the first half, we press really well, like the first 15 minutes after they Dallas try to find the best way for them, try to break the pressure. And I think we're doing well in this one. But when they break the pressure, it's so difficult for us to try to recover quick. And I think this is the option for the goal they have. They break the pressure. The guy playing like the ball behind the jack, and this is hard ball for us. But we need to continue to working.
Tim Sullivan with For Club and Country.
Aníbal, you mentioned the desire to be in the top 6. How much of a priority is that for you guys, especially knowing after a long layoff between the regular season and the playoffs that you'll have a game if you're 7th or 8th rather than having to kind of wait an extra week and lose your chemistry with each other maybe?
Yes, we have to finish in the more high position if it's possible. But now we know we only have the chance to finish in the 6, because we don't have chance to jump more than 6. And tonight is the really chance if we win to try to jumping in the 6th position because the playoff here in the MLS, if you have the best position, you play home, and this is why this group try to fighting to stay in the top 6. We have chance now. I think it's a little bit more difficult because we need to wait also about result. Result if New England win Sunday, if we win, we don't finish in top 6. Now it's more difficult. Now we need to wait also the other thing, But we continue to fight, and like what I say, this group is so strong. We need to recover tomorrow, and we need to try to come back more strong Sunday.